Hi, I'm Veronica Vance. Coming up, we head to the Walter P. Chrysler Museum for Cars, Trees, and Traditions, cruise Hines Drive for the Wayne County Light Fest, and then we tour the Grand Park West Gallery, so stay tuned.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.
The Walter P. Chrysler Museum in Auburn Hills is decking its displays with nostalgia for cars, trees, and traditions. Now, this exhibit features vintage Christmas trees paired with vehicles from that era. So stick around because we're going to get our own private tour. Well, so Jim, tell me about this exhibit we've got going on here.
Well, it's a wonderful exhibit. It's called Cars, Trees, and Traditions, and we've had this since 2004, and it just draws a great number of people out, and it focuses on trees through the decades, and really parallels a lot of the decades that we have here in terms of cars that are represented.
So how many decades does it span?
Well, we start in the early 1900s and go through to the late 1900s. And it really just gives a broad overview of everything that the visitor can see in terms of traditions over the past.
So it's a really neat vintage Christmas tree display.
It is, yeah. And you know, every time somebody goes through, they always talk about stories that relate to their time period or generation. And you'll see them also looking at just some of the decorations that we have set out as well. They'll say, gee, maybe we'll try that when we're at home.
Well, it feels so festive in here. I can't wait to start and look at all the trees.
Oh yes, it's a wonderful opportunity for visitors to come out and celebrate the season. And Jim Barry, he's going to be able to take you on a tour now and explain about the influence of the car during the holiday season as well.
Okay, well,
All right.
I'll talk to Jim, and thank you, Jim.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So, Jim, what exactly is the visitor going to get out of this Christmas tree display?
Yeah, visitors mark their time and family by cars, what car you had at Christmas, by what was on the tree and what you got. Even if they don't own a Chrysler car or participated in Chrysler history, they can remember their station wagon that went to pick out the live tree at the used car lot and put it on top, and how scrawny it was.
So these panels down here kind of give you a sense of what was going on.
You get a taste of what was going on in Detroit, in the nation, and how Christmas has changed and our perceptions of it changed.
You guys have done a great job of displaying it, but I'm going to look at some of the trees specifically. Now, John is going to be my guide for that.
John's our tree guru.
All right. Well, I'm off to see John. Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
So, John, it must have been a lot of fun researching all these different trees and eras.
Oh, it was. It was.
We start with what, here in the mid-20s?
Well, this is our 1924 tree, and it's paired with our 1924 Chrysler, a prototype of one of the first Chrysler models. Today, we do things a lot busier, a lot fuller. But for 1924, this was very opulent.
This was it, and so then all these ornaments are from that
period.
And then the presents, are the presents also indicative of the times?
Yes, yeah, the presents under each tree are indicative of the financial conditions of the times.
So this was the harder times. Was the popcorn a sign of making your own garland?
Yes, it was more of a homespun thing. It had been done before the Depression, but it was a very popular thing to do because it was inexpensive to do.
And so what year is this?
1934.
Oh, wow, look at all the presents under this one.
It's post-war time. It's 1948, the war is over, everyone's back to work, and it was a good Christmas time for everyone, and their trees reflected that.
Yeah, the tree is huge comparatively to the other sizes.
The tree is huge. It's what we call fat and happy.
Fat and happy.
Yes, and the decorations, the reflectors and everything really speak of that era.
You've given me some tips for this Christmas.
Feel free to use them.
Well, this one's really pretty. This is what
This,
era?
1956,
56.
mid-50s. These are shiny bright ornaments named after the company that really popularized and mass manufactured them. We also have the sugar cube lights on this.
I love those lights.
Lots of tinsel and many presents under the tree.
This tree is really quite beautiful. Tell me about these.
Aluminum tree. This was a purely American thing, and it's an expression of our industrial might, our technological innovation that We could just completely abandon the natural tree and make something so unabashedly man-made and shiny. And then these color wheels were the accessory you had to have with it and to change colors.
And this is again what we're in the mid-60s?
Early 60s to mid 60s, yeah.
Was when this was the biggest
1957,
craze.
they introduced them in 1957, but they really caught on in the 60s and were huge.
This is just a fantastic display. Well, these ornaments are very ornate.
These are from the mid 70s, and these were handmade.
Now this tree has special meaning to you because
This tree was my parents' tree.
It's your
I
parents'
got
tree.
presents under this from 1968 until I grew up and moved out of the house, and even after then.
That's fantastic. And I love the television that it's sitting next to.
This is the birth of people at home following decorating trends and taking it up to that level. This is the mid-80s, 1984. This is just a very opulent tree to express those times. It's paired with the minivan.
Oh, there's even a Hudson's bag in the minivan.
This is the very first minivan ever produced. Lee Iacocca himself drove it off the line.
So now we're down in the garage where there are
Yes, we are.
themed trees,
Yes,
correct?
this is a lady's tree for a lady's car. This is the 1955 Dodge La Femme. It was a vehicle that was geared towards the fairer sex. This is just a Rhapsody in red. We've got this gorgeous 1968 Dodge Charger, and it just asked for a red tree.
My tree is red and white, so I'm very
Oh,
partial
is it?
to the red. It's beautiful. Well, John, thank you for showing me and giving me the lowdown on the trees, but I'm going to go check out a few more of my own.
Well, you're quite welcome. Come back and visit us again.
Okay, thanks. The garland on this tree really takes me back to my childhood. So this is an example of their Hollywood tree on display here, and it's actually from the movie Holiday Inn, starring Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire, the movie that made White Christmas famous. I think this is going to be one of my favorite trees. This is a 1910 feather tree. The clips on it are holding the candles up. It's Victorian ornaments. This is before trees were full size. And then what we've got here in front of it is a Chrysler holiday car that actually went out right before the stock market crash, wishing everybody a prosperous new year. Little did they know what was to become. Well, this is a pretty groovy tree. It's a race car thing down here amongst all these race cars. Can't get more appropriate than that. I love this thing. The checkered flags. This tree is the Jeep themed tree, and it's very rugged and outdoorsy. We've got a natural pine in there. We've got pine cones for decorations on the presents. Makes you want to get outdoors and celebrate the season in the snow. The Cars, Trees, and Traditions exhibit at the Walter P. Chrysler Museum in Auburn Hills is a great way to relive Christmases of the past and a good way to tell your stories to future generations. The Wayne County Light Fest is an explosion of holiday festive lights that runs along Hines Drive. Now you enter the Light Fest just off of Merriman, south of Ann Arbor Trail, and north of Warren in the city of Westland. And once you're in, there's just one small donation per vehicle, but that means you get to look at the holiday festive lights while you stay nice and toasty warm. Well, I'm really excited to be here at the Light Fest. It's so pretty. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, we're really excited too, Veronica. It's new and improved this year. You know, one of the things we did is we put a challenge out to our staff. And we said, you know what? We want to make this an attraction, not only for southeastern Michigan, but also the Midwest. So they come back with a number of new displays, new lights. There's probably about over 1 million lights that's involved in this. And so families that haven't seen it, they're going to really be in for a surprise, especially if they've seen it in previous years.
Give me the lay of the land. You enter off Merriman.
Yeah, off Merriman. It's the longest display in the Midwest, if not the United States. It's 4 miles.
4 miles. Okay.
Of it. You'll go through, and some of the newest features are the tunnel with the lights. It's like you're completely, in a complete tunnel, and people think that's one of the most impressive. We have engagement with the kids with Santa Land, that they can come and get out of the car and even get something to eat. And really, we've made it as family oriented as possible. If you have a family, even if you are in Oakland County, Macomb County, any place in Southeast Michigan, come on in, you're going to enjoy it.
1 donation per vehicle, is that
right?
What we're
Suggested donation of $5, but you can pack all your kids in there, pack Grandma and Grandpa and everybody else, put them in, get a large SUV if you want, and bring them through. People want, they can instead donate a toy that's coming instead of the suggested $5. Tuesdays are usually designated as the toy night, but they can do it anytime.
That's really cool. So you're donating a toy for a good cause. You get to come in with your family. I mean, it's just a great value to come in and look at all the lights.
It is. But when you think of Domino Farms and the display they had in the past,
right?
Well, we're wanting to compete with that and go above it. So if they think it's great this year, they're going to be even more excited next year, because we put the challenge out and you're going to see even more lights next year.
Approximately how many displays are there?
There's over 35.
Oh, so that's a lot.
Right, there's a lot of them. People really enjoy it and really make an evening of it.
Does it start typically like the weekend after Thanksgiving, runs through the end of the year?
Yeah,
typically right around in that time frame?
Yes, it started in November.
Okay.
And runs all the way through the end of December. It's a unique attraction. You're going to see it anyplace else, especially in Michigan, and it's one to bring your family and have a great time.
Well, I can't wait to go take a look, and it's going to be so beautiful with the snow.
Well, you're going to enjoy it. Make sure you take your little one with you.
Yeah, I will. All right, well, thank you so much. These snowflakes are so cute. And on top of the fresh fallen snow, we're coming up to this great tunnel. You get to drive under, all the lights are over the vehicle. You get to go through it. So pretty. How much fun to come through here with your family, and the little ones especially will be so impressed. Looks like there's Frosty the Snowman waving. Hi, Frosty. This is a holiday light fest, and so they don't just represent Christmas, but they represent other holidays too. They've got lights for Kwanzaa, they've got lights for Hanukkah. Coming up here, the town of Bethlehem, with nice nativity scene with baby Jesus. Our flying reindeer, there they are. And now we are coming up to the North Pole. This has to be the North Pole. It looks like Old Man Winter blowing snowflakes onto the scenery. We've got the penguins. Oh, they're even doing a little ice fishing out there. How cute is that? Oh, we've got a bicycler out here along Hines Drive. How appropriate. Oh, we've got, what is this? Puff the Magic Dragon? Loch Ness Monster. So here we've got the elf coming up the ladder, taking the package across the bridge and dropping it into the stocking, which I assume is going to end up in that cute little gingerbread house over there in Candyland. Oh, this is Santa's flight school right here. So the reindeer are learning to take flight. What's really been nice about this is that most of the cars turn their lights off, so all you really see are the lights. That's the main focus. You don't see all the headlights, you're just immersed in all the beautiful lights. Ooh, and now we are coming up to, looks like the Festival of Lights, a light show going on. Here we go. Oh, this is neat. Just completely surrounded by the lights in here. Well, we've come to the end of the Light Fest. We just turned off Hines Drive. We're exiting, but it's not over yet. We're coming up to Santa's shelter. So at the end of the line, you can either keep going or you can make a pit stop here at Santa's Shelter, where you can come in, get warmed up, and the best part is you can pay a visit to Santa Claus and let him know what's on your wish list for this year. Oh, how precious is that? Look at that baby. How cute. Merry Christmas, Santa. They've got all kinds of goodies you can get. You can get popcorn, pretzels, cookies. And then when you go outside of here, they've got this whole area all lit up to walk through. Well, there you have it, Wayne County at Christmas time. They have one of the best light shows in all of Metro Detroit, and to see it, all you need to do is cruise Hines Drive for this Fantasy Light Fest. There are plenty of things to see and do this month, and our calendar of events is up next to point you in the right direction. Create your own architectural Lego masterpiece at the Henry Ford. Then catch the greatest show on earth at the Palace. Enjoy horsing around at the Novi Equestrian Expo. Then the Wayne County Light Fest lights up Hines Drive. Stomp is a family-friendly, rhythm-based explosion of fun. And the Great Lakes Art Fair mixes art and entertainment. Christmas Wonderfest returns bigger than ever to Campus Martius Park, and the Festival of Trees sparkle in Dearborn. Woodward Avenue gets ready for the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and the Opera House hosts the classic Nutcracker. Head to the Fisher to see the dark and dangerous Jekyll and Hyde, then enjoy free admission to many museums on Noel Night. The Glass Academy offers live demos at their holiday show, and Rochester's Hometown Parade celebrates Christmas joy. To learn of any changes, log on to visitdetroit.com or call 1-800-DETROIT. Hey, are you looking for another great reason to boast about Metro Detroit? Well, get this. Park West Gallery in Southfield is the world's largest distributor of original artwork. They've got new collections being mounted continuously, and they have over 1,000 works filling the gallery. These works here belong to Andrew Bone, and he used to be a safari guide, and his theory is if you haven't been chased by it, you shouldn't paint it. And no, these are not photographs here. These are the unbelievable works of Scott Jacobs. Now here we have an entire wall dedicated to the artwork of Peter Max. Now he was a visionary pop artist in the 1960s who evolved to become a master of neo-expressionism, and his vibrant colors have become a part of contemporary American culture. For instance, the NBC Peacock logo, that redesign is Peter Max's. He's been the artist for 5 Super Bowls, the NFL. Look at his colors, they're just so vibrant. This place is huge, and there's so much art here. And to tell me all about it, I'm going to go meet up with Morris Shapiro for my own private tour.
Park West is kind of an interesting business. I think it's unique in the art world in the sense that we have a sort of a different philosophy in bringing art to people. And it was founded by a man named Albert Scaglione, and Albert still runs the company as the CEO. And he began to put art collections together and take them around to different locations and auction them. We were asked by a cruise line to begin to do auctions on cruise ships. And now we operate on 8 different cruise lines.
Really?
On over 80 ships. And one of the things that we try and do also is to bring people a broad range and a wide variety of works of art. So we have things that span the whole range of time, and we have things which are, you know, under $100 to things that are around $1 million. So we give people that choice to really see everything, make the right decision for them, give them proper information, and that's really what's most important. So why don't we go on a tour?
I would love
Okay.
to. Well, so this place is huge. How large is it?
Well, the entire building is 63,000 square feet, but the gallery area is about 15,000 square feet that we're walking in now.
Well, so how many galleries are there actually then?
Well, we have 23 exhibition spaces,
Okay.
and we're open 7 days a week. I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk a little bit about this artist. His name is Marcus Glenn, and Marcus actually lives in Southfield. He's
he's
right
local.
lives right on the corner.
It's like 3D-ish.
Yeah, he calls his work flat life. He says because life is flat, but his work goes beyond being flat and goes into another dimension. So here we're in one of our galleries that features old masters, masterworks. We're very proud of our masters collection, and this is one of the areas that I get most enthusiastic about. These are our works by Renoir. Renoir was of course a great painter, but he experimented briefly in the graphic arts, and here are 3 graphic works by him, 2 lithographs and an etching. Here's a whole selection of Rembrandt etchings. Rembrandt, of course, was the greatest etcher of all time. He made paintings for his financial needs, but he made etchings because he loved them. This is where his greatest creativity and spontaneity is found. Here's one of my favorite artists. This is Albrecht Dürer. And Albrecht Dürer is, in my mind, probably the most amazing artist in terms of his technical virtuosity. This is a woodcut, and it comes from the Large Passion, and this particular example was printed in the year 1511.
Oh my goodness.
1511, yes. The woodcut is done by carving away all the negative space. So everywhere the white of the paper exists, the wood was cut away and removed. If you can imagine,
I
doing
can't.
something
Oh
like
my
that. It's
goodness,
truly
that
mind-boggling.
is just exactly.
Any museum would love to have it.
Yeah.
And when you collect that piece, you never really own it.
Yeah.
It just stays in your collection. You're the caretaker for the rest of your life.
There you go, the
And then it
caretaker.
passes on.
Then exactly.
You have that responsibility.
Yeah.
And we're passing through a small corridor here in the gallery that features the work of Marc Chagall. Marc Chagall was, in my mind, the epic poet of 20th century art. And this is Itzhak Tarkai. Tarkai is a very interesting artist. He's from Israel, and he came very late in his life to being an artist in his 50s. Yeah. And he's become really one of the most famous artists in the world today, known for his beautiful figurative imagery. Another interesting collection we're very proud of is the Destino collection. And Destino was a film that was conceived by Salvador Dali and Walt Disney in the 1940s. And Park West is the exclusive representative of the artwork that's been created for collectors from the film. So you're looking at one of the suites right here of the storyboards and paintings that Dali made in preparation for the film. It's really, really cool.
Neat.
Yeah.
So you've got another Detroit artist in here too, correct?
We do. This would be Dominic Pangborn.
From Pangborn Design.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah. We're Dominic's dealer and publisher of his graphic works. Right over here we have an artist who, in my opinion, is probably the most important living artist in the world today. And his name is Yaakov Agam. And the viewer and the artist have to co-mingle to create the work. And he's been known since that, as the father of what's called kinetic art. If you take a look at this work from the side, you're probably seeing like a circular element there, right? Now as I take it around, very, very slowly, you're seeing these transformations. And to the other side, you'll see that same circular image, but in a lighter or darker format. The work is called Moon Noon, so it's talking about the transformation of a whole day.
But some of these other ones are...
Well, these are also interactive. These are called agamographs, where they change and move. This is what he calls a multigraph, and here you can actually come up, you're encouraged to come up and move this sliding grill. And you see what happens as I change it, where the work is just, transforming and becoming something new. You can change it every day if you like, right?
And this room is the Picasso room.
Yes.
Wow.
Very special room. For us at Park West, we have an amazing Picasso collection. I think he was like Mozart. You know how Mozart wrote symphonies when he was a child? That's the kind of genius Picasso was. He was protean, in my opinion. He was just like a man who changed everything, because everybody has to go through Picasso to understand art in the world today.
Well, Morris, thank you so much for showing me around.
Oh, thank you, Veronica. Thanks so much for coming down and having your viewers enjoy Park West.
Yes, and it was wonderful, and as you've seen, they have everything here from the old world masters right on up to today's contemporary artists, some even from Detroit, all right here in Southfield at the Park West Gallery.
Truly believe what it's like in the D. It's all happening here, right here in the D. There's something you need to hear about Detroit City.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Veronica Vance. And remember, if you'd like more information on any of the places we visited, log on to visitdetroit.com. So until I see you next time, go out and explore on your own and discover the D. To learn about discounts and special offers for featured attractions, plus how to get copies of Visit Detroit magazine, click on visitdetroit.com.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.